Introducing Bryan Adams Radio on iHeartRadio.
Got my first real six-string.
Hosted by Bryan Adams himself.
Join me for an insider look on a wild ride through 40 years of global rock and roll.
Bryan Adams Radio. Now available on the free iHeartRadio app. Or ask your smart speaker to play Bryan Adams Radio on iHeartRadio.
Who's ready to rock?
Kids wanna rock.
This week in gaming with Naomi Kyle.
Welcome back, listeners. I'm Naomi Kyle, and it's time for This Week in Gaming. This week, we're catching up on PlayStation's State of Play. Nintendo's Doug Bowser announces his retirement, and EA agrees to a $55 billion deal. We've got all of this week's gaming news, so let's get started. The PlayStation State of Play digital showcase went live on Wednesday afternoon, giving gaming fans just a taste of what PlayStation has in store for 2026. Kicking off the showcase was an update from Returnal developer Housemarque on their next game, Saros. While Saros shares many of the same gameplay elements as Returnal, it isn't being marketed as a sequel and instead as a new IP. Saros will launch on PS5 on March 20th, 2026. Another Xbox game is making its way to PlayStation. Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024 is touching down on the PS5 later this year on December 8th. We got a look at the Battlefield 6 single-player campaign. Battlefield 6 comes out next week on October 10th. The classic immersive sim, Deus Ex, is getting remastered with upscaled textures and dynamic lighting effects. Deus Ex Remastered will be out on February 5th, 2026. 2 new racers were announced for Sonic Racing Cross Worlds. Mega Man and Proto Man are joining the pack, including a track based off of Dr. Willy's castle and a vehicle designed around Mega Man's trusted canine companion, Rush. The third game in the Neo series was revealed. Neo 3 comes out on February 6, 2026. The PS2 classic Dynasty Warriors 3 is also getting a remake. Dynasty Warriors 3 Complete Edition Remastered jumps onto the PS5 next year on March 19th, 2026. Chronoscript: The Endless End, a Metroidvania that takes place in a storybook, comes out next year. After delaying the game to a 2026 release window, we've finally been given a release date for Crimson Desert, which comes out on March 19th, 2026. PlayStation's Pulse Elevate wireless desktop speakers for the PS5 and PS Portal come out in 2026. Gran Turismo gets a new Spec 3 update, including 2 new tracks, 8 new vehicles, and new game modes. To celebrate God of War's 20th anniversary, PlayStation announced a God of War-themed DualSense controller complete with Kratos' iconic red tattoo. And finally, news about the long-awaited Wolverine game was announced at the end of the showcase. Actor Liam McIntyre will be playing the iconic X-Men hero. Included in the game are villains from the X-Men comics like Omega Red, and Mystic will be in the game as well. Wolverine comes out in fall 2026. So that's it. What did you think? Did you like the State of Play, or did it leave something to be desired? Let me know and tag me at Naomi Kyle on social, and I'll of course be speaking about this event with my guest this week, Victor Lucas. Electronic Arts, the video game publisher known for titles like The Sims, Battlefield, and FIFA, has agreed to be purchased by a group of private investors for about $55 billion US. Among the investors involved in the massive buyout is Saudi Arabia's Public Investment Fund, Affinity Partners, and Silver Lake Technology Management. Saudi Arabia's Public Interest Fund, or PIF as it's better known, is controlled by Saudi Arabian Prince Mohammed bin Salman and is among the largest sovereign wealth funds in the world, estimated to be worth $925 billion US. Prince Mohammed bin Salman is no stranger to the video game space. One of his foundations currently owns SNK, who developed Fatal Fury: City of the Wolves, which inserted soccer star Cristiano Ronaldo and DJ Salvatore Ganacchi as fighters at the prince's request. The deal is currently awaiting approval from U.S. regulators, but if it goes through, this could mark the largest private buyout in history. Nintendo of America president Doug Bowser has announced that after working at Nintendo for over a decade, he will be retiring at the end of this year. Succeeding him will be Nintendo veteran Devin Pritchard, who joined Nintendo of America in 2006 and has been operating as Nintendo of America's Executive Vice President of Revenue, Marketing, and Consumer Experience since 2021. After the announcement, Bowser addressed his colleagues with the following statement. One of my earliest video game experiences was playing the arcade version of Donkey Kong. Since that time, all things Nintendo have continued to be a passion for both me and my family. Leading Nintendo of America has been the honor of a lifetime, and I am proud of what our team has accomplished in both business results and the experiences we've created for consumers. Now it's time for the next generation of leadership, and Devon's track record speaks for itself. She is an exceptional leader, and her promotion is a testament to her strong performance and strategic contributions to the company's growth. I have full confidence that she will guide the company to even greater heights. After its announcement back in April, gamers have been patiently waiting for Microsoft to announce the price of their handheld PC, the ROG Xbox Ally. Well, the day has finally come, and just weeks away from its October 16th launch date, Microsoft opened up pre-orders for the ROG Xbox Ally and Xbox Ally X. And if you're looking to get one yourself, be prepared to shell out some serious cash. The ROG Xbox Ally is $800 Canadian, and the more powerful ROG Xbox Ally X is $1,300 Canadian. Microsoft says the reason for the steep price is due to the same economic factors that forced them to increase the price of their consoles last week. At its current price, the ROG Xbox Ally is entering a fiercely competitive handheld market at a disadvantage when compared to the Switch 2 and Steam Deck that are priced at $620 and $700 Canadian, respectively.
Quest complete.
So that's the news for this week. It's now time to chat with our guest. Victor Lucas joins us to chat about Sony's State of Play, the massive EA buyout, and what he thinks of the price of Xbox's latest handheld.
Select game mode. Multiplayer.
Hey, Victor. Welcome back.
Naomi, it's great to see you.
Good to be here. We are doing a lot of gaming news today. There's a lot actually happening in the gaming space. Some crazy news, but let's start off with Sony's State of Play. I'm assuming you watched it. I did. Loved everything that I saw. I have. I think it was like one of the most exciting presentations from one of the big three this year. But I wanted to know right out the gate, what did you think of Wolverine? Were you stoked?
I'm freaking out about Wolverine. I posted my reaction, and I got a lot of views, and Insomniac enjoyed it as well. And I've been a huge fan of superhero games for a long time, and I've made no secret about the fact that Spider-Man 2 is my favorite PlayStation 5 game, and I think that Insomniac is the best acquisition that Sony has made across all of its entertainment, across all of its ventures. Insomniac is an incredible company, and they are so disciplined and so talented, and the culture there is so wonderful that they cultivate and build these beautiful entertainments. And Wolverine is shockingly violent. Mm-hmm. Oh my God, is it violent? Like claws through the face. And, you know, I think it starts with Wolverine ripping a guy in half and saying, I'm Wolverine. You know, it's nuts. But it looks so just like it's going to be so much fun to play. It just looks like it's going to be like the ultimate stress relief. If you have a crappy day at work, and you get home and you get to be Logan and just tear the bad guys apart like that.
It's Gotham games, Batman games meets Mortal Kombat. It's like the perfect mix. I think it's really cool how they're doing that.
It plays a little bit in the sandbox of Wolverine Origins, You know, the Xbox 360 game.
Yeah.
I think it came to PS3 too, at PS3 as well. That was a wonderful game too, and it was unbelievably violent. It sort of stretched the boundaries. You know, but when they made the Logan movie, and they really just let Hugh Jackman just go to town with the character and really kind of take us into a place we hadn't seen with the X-Men stuff. That was kind of the door opening, you know, and then Deadpool and Wolverine, I think, kind of showed us Wolverine in a major sort of mass market way, the yellow suit and all of the carnage that he can create. And I think this is going to capitalize on that. I'm looking forward to the secrets and the surprises speculation on other playable characters that will be a part of it.
Yeah.
I like that it's not open world. I like that they're kind of curating and funneling us through these different environments and giving us actual levels to travel to. Because I love open world experiences, but if they're not made with that intention all the way, and if it doesn't make sense for the play, sometimes it can become a little tedious, and sometimes it's you're spending a lot of time with traversal, and nothing beats Spider-Man for traversal.
Truly.
There's the only way you can make a Spider-Man game at this point is an open world experience like that, because it's just so fun to get around as the character. And Wolverine's different.
Yeah, it's going to be different. I mean, you're stuck on the ground. You're not flying around with web and stuff. But I like that. Yeah, I love how the direction they've taken it, and I'm just so excited that it actually lived up to the hype. At least from the trailers, we don't have the game yet in our hands, but hopefully soon we will. Was there anything else at the State of Play that you want to just make a quick mention to?
Yeah, I was really impressed with that Chronos script and Endless End, which looks a little bit like a little more mature Plucky Squire to me, where they're playing with perspective and that you're cruising around inside of like a hand-drawn environment, and then you can pop out into 3D, it looks like, and that looks beautiful. And the new one from Housemarque, I think it's Saros, I think it is, with Rahul Kohli. I hope I'm saying his name right.
Starring his name. You nailed it.
Yeah. He's fantastic. And I love Housemarque. I mean, I loved them before Returnal. Returnal took it to a whole other level. I like their arcade sensibility and the bullet hells that they create for us. And I mean, when you look at it, it's hard not to think that it might be connected to Returnal in some way. I think Returnal is a masterpiece.
Yeah.
And so I'm so excited for whatever Housemarque is working on, but this game looks beautiful.
It looks gorgeous, and there's a lot of hype for it, so I'm very excited for that one as well. Overall, really good Sony State of Play, like I said. Very excited for what they have on their roster. We're going to quickly cut to games out this week, and we'll be right back.
The biggest songs in the world. You've heard them countless times. Now, learn the details of how they came to be. Join Ruby Carr for Encore, the stories behind the songs you love. New interviews and newly unearthed archive footage make for a fascinating weekly deep dive. Stream Encore, the stories behind the songs you love on iHeartRadio or wherever you get your podcasts.
Games out this week.
Starting on September 29th, Bounce Masters and Unyielder Reload exclusively on PC. Then on September 30th, Final Fantasy Tactics The Evilise Chronicles strategizes on PS4, PS5, PC, Switch 1 and 2, and Xbox Series X and S. LEGO Party rolls the dice on all platforms. On October 2nd, Super Mario Galaxy plus Super Mario Galaxy 2 make the jump from the Wii to the Nintendo Switch. Ghost of Yotai swears revenge exclusively on the PS5. And on October 3rd, Borderlands 4 joins the Nintendo Switch 2. And Digimon Story Time Stranger digivolves onto the PS5, PC, and Xbox Series X and S. The Epic Game Store is offering just one free game this week, Nightingale Realms Rebuilt. Will be available for download from October 2nd until the 9th.
Quest accepted.
All right, so the big news this week is there's another big acquisition happening in the gaming space. Looks like EA is the next one on the docket, being bought by a Saudi Arabian investment fund, sounds like. At least that's what's, I haven't gotten into the details too much, but that's the gist. It's a huge amount. It's $50 billion, which there was...
Largest ever. 55 billion.
Which I wonder, how does that so what was the difference there? Because I know Blizzard and Microsoft, their deal was like 69 billion.
Well, this is a take private deal. So this is a public company where all of the stock is picked up and it's repurchased by this conglomerate, by this consortium.
So that makes it the biggest. That makes sense.
You know what it is, though, that freaks me out a little bit is that it's not just private. It is a private company, but it's being managed by private equity. And so it's this group of shareholders now that are very much into playing in a bunch of different industries, and they want to make as much money from this as they possibly can. Any investment group like this is going to be looking at this as a major play, And what they want to do is not just buy this, but also invest into, IP creation and also taking the IP that EA owns, which is unbelievably large. Like they have so many fantastic brands and so many fantastic ideas and concepts within that organization, but they want to take those and then grow them and monetize them in a bunch of different ways. What freaks me out about private equity is we've heard the horror stories of private equity firms buying retailers like Toys R Us and all kinds of there's a lot of other examples. And I'm not a business analyst, but a lot of these fantastic businesses get strip mined and sold for parts and
right. They're gutted.
Yeah, and then they're gutted, and then they're kind of left to die in some ways, and that worries me about EA. It also worries me thinking about some of the microtransaction kind of approaches that might start to be amplified. EA is already under the microscope for a lot of, and a lot of players are super turned off by all the ways that EA has found a way to take that ultimate team in FIFA originally and sort of turn that into the catch-all for all of their franchises, it feels like. And it's made them billions of dollars. Andrew Wilson, who started in my city in Vancouver working as a producer within EA, probably even before that, really, I think, was the champion and had a huge idea to kind of monetize on these cards. And it turned EA into such a juggernaut financially. And there was a lot of praise for him in the press release that I read of, how he had quintupled the earnings and had made EA incredibly successful during his tenure. And so who knows if he continues? This might be his exit package. Who knows what the shakeup is going to be? But it is a little bit frightening. But maybe the bright side of this, without being completely freaked out by all of this change, is that under the idea that this is a private company, it will be less beholden to create shareholder value every single quarter, and some more risks can be taken with some of this incredible IP. Like I, for one, cannot fathom why we don't have new SSX games or new NBA Street or new Burnout or, like a sequel to Titanfall. They have Apex Legends running in the Titanfall universe forever, and it's a great free-to-play enterprise.
Yeah.
But it's based on an IP that's beloved, and there is a way to make money off of that. Maybe it's not $1 billion grand slam, but it's revenue coming back. And what we're seeing now, too, with all this game IP is that it's being converted into a bunch of different things, television shows and theme parks and movies. Yeah, there's all of these different ways to capitalize on this.
BioWare.
BioWare, totally, right? Yeah.
So they own BioWare, and BioWare's known for Mass Effect and Dragon Age and all these great IPs. So, I'm hopeful. I've seen, there's good examples of privately owned companies like Red Bull who still thrive in gaming and who still thrive years after, and they've always maintained that. And I feel like that gives them their power too. And they have no stress when it comes to like making their budgets every year and making money. All right, let's touch on quickly the ROG Xbox Ally price. And then I want to touch on the horror games you've been playing because you've been hyping those up.
Yeah.
But what do we think of the price? Real quick, we've had this conversation over and over again.
Yeah.
But out the gate, we kind of expected this. It's pretty pricey. It's $800 for the Ally, and then for the Ally X, it's $1,300. So it's just... I think given the tech, given everything with the tariffs and everything going on in the industry, I think it was kind of expected it'd be this high, right?
Market conditions to launch anything right now must be excruciating. Like what are you navigating through in the world right now? It's crazy. The world is insane right now, and that's another beautiful thing about games, right? Like they can offer that respite from all of the other things we have to worry about. But that price is something to worry about for sure. I happen to be an owner of the ROG Ally X. So not the Xbox Ally X, but the one that they made. I think I bought it last year. Time's a flat circle now. But I bought it after the Steam Deck, and I'd actually purchased the original Ally. And I think I haven't had hands-on yet with the Xbox Ally X, but I think it will have some pretty substantial improvements. I'm excited to check it out, and I will be soon. I'm not completely shocked by where it's positioned right now. Now, is that an expensive proposition? Yes. But I think what people kind of need to appreciate with these devices is that it's not just like a Switch 2. It is a PC.
Right.
So you can hook it up to a monitor and you can add a keyboard to it and a mouse and you can use it as a PC. Like you can stream right off of it. You can edit on it. You can do your work on it. It's pretty versatile. And then it's going to run games, I think, pretty damn well. And that's what I've been impressed by, starting with the Steam Deck. And with the Ally X and now the Switch 2 is running games really, really well in handheld mode. And what I've noticed too is that like I love state of the art, and I love playing games with the highest fidelity. And it feels like you're wearing glasses when you play them because everything's so clean.
Right.
But I don't feel like the experience of the game is diminished that much when I'm kicking back on a park bench and I'm playing on my handheld device, like we have really crossed a divide. The Switch was that, open door. And now a lot of these companies are really delivering this really fantastic AAA. You're having that experience in the palm of your hand or in the palms of your hand because they're pretty big. And I mean, it's so luxurious. They really are. So yes, it's pricey. And yes, you could get a laptop, but you're not going to have that same kind of core portability. And honestly, I'm very excited to see what Xbox and Microsoft have put together in terms of its front end and its ease of use to get into your software and how it's all tethered together that way. And hopefully people with Steam Decks and other handheld devices can also employ some of that functionality as well, So we'll see. But yeah, it's pricey. You got to be super committed to playing games and playing games on the go. But the PC space, anybody that plays games and spends a lot of money on video games knows that the PC space is the way to get the deals.
Yeah.
The prices invariably go down there. And so you might have an upfront cost on your hardware, but you're probably going to save some money on your software over the long term.
I think handheld wise, it's like a really good investment. I think you're going to get the sheer number of games that you can access, not only Steam, Xbox, but there's PlayStation games on Xbox now. So I think you're pretty much, you go in thinking, okay, well, yeah, I'm paying $800, $1,300, but yeah, like you said, the sheer number of games and the access to inexpensive games, good prices on games, it just gives you the gambit. Quickly, I want to touch on these horror games you've been hyping up. So what have you been playing?
Oh, man. I like every week it feels like I've been playing something cool. I played Chronos, The New Dawn, which is kind of like a Dead Space meets Resident Evil.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm not trying to reduce the game at all, but it's really fun. It's really cool and creepy. And you've got some great abilities and great powers and perfect for Halloween. And I would say the same thing about Hell Is Us, which I streamed in the same week and played and talked about. And this one's a strange experience. It's like big pockets of kind of open world style gameplay, but then you load into another level. But you have some cool powers. It's got a little bit of a Souls-like kind of vibe to it as well. Recently, I've been playing Silent Hill F, which is a new take from Konami. Like a new separate track on the Silent Hill franchise. It's not connected to the other games. It's set in the 1960s Japan, and you play a teenage girl who has got fever dreams happening and all kinds of crazy psychosis, and she sees terrible things start happening in her village, and she's trying to protect herself and save her friends and deal with the ripples of torment from her family. And I think I've been playing a couple of other ones, but I think this might be one of the best years for creepy horror experiences around Halloween. I think there are a lot of choices, and I've been streaming them and reviewing them. So if people want to check out any of that stuff on my YouTube channel, please come on over. It's been really fun. I've been scared a lot, Naomi, but I've been having a lot of fun.
Good, and you're gearing up for Halloween, which is sadly already a month away. I mean, excitedly, but also how are we already at Halloween? You know what I mean?
I know.
But yeah, this it's the perfect time to play horror games. games is this time of year. So check out Victor's content, everybody. And Victor, thank you so much for hopping on the show. As always, it's a pleasure having you. And I know you'll be back. So I'll just say have a great rest of your week and enjoy your horror games.
Oh, thank you, Naomi. I love being here. Thanks for having me on.
All right. Talk to you soon. Victor Lucas is host and founder of the Electric Playground Network. You can follow him on Instagram at Batwing.
Flawless victory! Continue!
And that's This Week in Gaming. I'm your host, Naomi Kyle. I had such a blast bringing you the news this week. Thank you so much for listening, and shout out to my co-writer, Josh Seaman. Don't forget to let me know what you're playing and what you think of these stories by tagging me at Naomi Kyle on social. And from all of us here at This Week in Gaming, we wish you a fun-filled week, and we'll see you again same time, same place. Thanks for listening.
This Week in Gaming is an iHeartRadio Canada podcast. Subscribe to this podcast on iHeartRadio or wherever you get your podcasts. Download the iHeartRadio app for more podcasts just like these.
Introducing Bryan Adams Radio on iHeartRadio.
Got my first real 6-string.
Hosted by Bryan Adams himself.
Join me for an insider look on a wild ride through 40 years of global rock and roll.
Bryan Adams Radio.
I'm ready
Now available on the free iHeartRadio app.
to love you.
Or ask your smart speaker to play Bryan Adams Radio on iHeartRadio.
Who's ready to rock?
Everywhere I go, kids wanna rock.